And welcome back to Daily Wraps. Time for Yay or Nay. First up, Democratic presidential candidate, his name is Bernie Sanders, went off on a New York Times reporter who asked the senator about his hair. After a string of good, relevant questions, reporter Anna Marie Cox asked the Vermont senator if he thinks it's fair that frontrunner Hillary Clinton's hair gets more attention than his own. And that's when Mr. Sanders lost his cool, saying, "Okay, Anna, I don't want to be rude here. I'm running for president of the United States on serious issues, okay? Do you have serious questions? We have millions of people who are struggling to keep their heads above water. Who want to know what candidates can do to improve their lives?" That's a tremendous imitation, if I don't say so myself. Thank you. Good job. Anyway, was Bernie being too harsh, Brad?
Yeah, he was being too harsh. He was being a little naive. We haven't had a fat president since Taft. We haven't had a short president since God knows when. Whether it's good or it's bad, it turns out that optics, that looks, matter to the voting public. He should have spun it and said, you know, I want to take this really seriously and ask, is the electorate ready for someone who looks like me, Bernie Sanders? Wow. But rather than lecture her and hector her, take it seriously, because the public does.
Interesting. Do you think that his fans like him even more for that response? Saying,
no, I don't think it matters. I mean, Bernie obviously was having a tough morning. It happens. You know, he got a little cranky. It happens.
If Trump's hair is fair game...
Don't push me on this.
I'm just saying. If Trump's hair is fair game, why not Bernie's, which is not always perfectly kept like yours, Rick Unger?
Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, he was having a tough day.
He was. That's true.
How long can we stretch out a non-issue? You want to come back on this?
I wouldn't beat him up about it. I just think he missed an opportunity to do exactly what no one trusts him with, which is a little lightness and humor. He's a good guy, and that's why he doesn't get beaten up about his hair like Trump does. But that's a different discussion.
All right, I'm going to do the rest of this segment in my Bernie voice. The White House is getting some heat for its... I won't do that. The White House is getting some heat for a tweet they posted from their official Iran deal Twitter account. Who knew they even had one? Playing off of the poster for the blockbuster movie Straight Outta Compton. The poster is trending on Twitter right now, with people posting their own funny versions that switch out the word Compton for their own hometown or something like chapstick or toilet paper. Now remember, the tweet in question came from an official White House Twitter account, which reads, "Thanks to the Iran deal, Iran will be straight out of uranium." Is, this is the question, Marie Harf somehow behind this tweet, Rick Unger?
She might as well be. Another, the crack White House communication staff strikes again.
They're just horrible. They don't get it. I thought they'd be somewhat hip.
Are we sure that came out of the White House?
But if it did, it does show the kind of arrogance, right? I get it, inside joke, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the people who think this is a good deal. But actually their job, if they want to convince people, is not to make jokes. But I hope it's true they'll be straight out of uranium. But about 50% of the country doesn't agree, so probably not a wise move on the White House's part.
And they're losing the PR battle. If polls are any indicator, that's the question. Will it pass Congress is the question, or will they reject it is what I should say.
They'll reject it.
I think they will reject it. The real question is, can they override a veto? And I've gone back and forth on this. I now come back from vacation saying, not so sure.
Not so sure.
They're not going to be able
the
to
always definitive Brad Hirschfield weighing in tonight. That's why we pay him.
You really put your neck out on that
there you
one,
go.
man.
Yes. So finally tonight, TLC canceled its hit show 19 Kids and Counting, as you know, after charges were made about the Duggars' eldest son, Josh, molesting young girls, including his own sisters. Enjoy your dinner. Now, just weeks later, the patriarchs of the Duggar family, Jim Bob and Michelle, are supposedly looking to get their own spin-off reality series, just like the Jeffersons off of All in the Family, where they will counsel victims of sexual abuse.
Just like the Jeffersons.
Just like the Jeffersons. Dumb question here, perhaps even rhetorical. Is this a good idea?
How many ways can you say no? A serious note, if faith is supposed to generate humility, they need to check in with themselves. What are they thinking?
Can't get enough of the spotlight, eh, Unger? Like you, in a way.
I think you know what my answer is going to be on this.
You don't care?
I so don't care. I never watched their show even once. I don't care.
Can you name the two spin-offs of All in the Family?
All in the Family? Well,
Yeah,
Jeffersons was one.
Right,
and Dynamite. What was the name of it?
No.
Good Times? No,
Good
no,
Times.
no.
Was it
Good
Maude?
Times? No, Maude wasn't.
Maude?
Maude is correct.
Oh,
That's what I
Maude
thought.
was
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Of the Jeffersons.
There you go.
And that's
See?
all for tonight. I'm Joe Conch on behalf of
It was
Rick Unger and the
spin-off
rest
of
of our
Maude.
panel. Thank you for
Exactly.
joining us tonight. The Steve Malzberg Show. That's next. It really is. And Steve has a great show for
Are
tonight.
you stretching now? Did
This
you
is
go
what's
a
called
little
stretching
quickly?
in
Yeah.
the world of the Daily Wrap. Good night, everybody.